G'day guys, welcome to another 12 by 12 layout. What am I doing today? Who am I? Where am I? Okay, hubby's just called me and interrupted me and he's thrown me off my groove. Big accident on the highway, he's stuck in traffic. Anyway, but I digress. Okay, what am I scrapping? I'm scrapping a couple of photos of Angela wearing Jennifer's crayon outfit that she had for Halloween this year. Now, I love this colour. I know it's weird. I never used to like this really bright green, but I really do like it. This is the VICKI BOUTIN COLORSTUDY Linear. The paper is called Linear. I will have this all linked below in the description. I do that every time, so you guys don't have to write things down. You can just click on it and you can find it. I also use, I fussy cut, and I fussy cut them ages ago and I was going to use them and then changed my mind. So I fussy cut the circles out of the Colour Coaster sheet of paper in the VICKI BOUTIN Paint Shop collection. So I end up using some of those today because they all go together. Now, all I'm doing here is literally folding it in half and tearing a piece out. Trying not to tear too much out because guess what? You can't put it back. So I'm just ripping out a bit in the middle. This paper is really hard to rip, by the way, FYI. When you fold it like that, it's very, very sturdy. It's a very solid, heavyweight cardstock. So it sort of took a little bit for me to rip those chunks out, but that's okay. It's all good. Not a problem. I did spray this before I started with the Distress Oxide spray in Black Soot. Why do I like that one? I like the Black Soot colour because it's more of a grey. When you spray it down, it's not black, so to speak, it's grey. And I like that because it adds darkness without lots of, you know, like if you get some paint and you dilute it a bit, you splat it on and it's black paint, it's black. This one I like because it comes out and it's grey black. So that's why I like that one. Now I will have all of this listed below. Now I was reading my notes to see what I needed to let you guys know. Now the way I do this is I scrap it, and at the end of the scrap, before I put everything away off my desk, I write down a list of everything I used as I'm putting it away. So that's why sometimes when I'm doing these voiceovers, you might hear me, you could hear the cogs turning, like literally. It's because I'm trying to read my notes and make sure that I have actually said everything. So basically all I'm doing now is I'm attaching this down. I'm using tear tape because it's cheaper than using my tape runner. And the reason I have the small tape runner, now this is something I was asked the other day, why don't I have an ATG gun? Why? I just haven't bought one. But the main reason why is because I have got really bad rheumatoid arthritis, okay? And for those that don't know what rheumatoid arthritis is, it's not like arthritis like you remember your grandma, you know, when you were younger and she had big knuckles and all the rest of it. It's not that. It's actually an autoimmune disease, and they're actually at the moment, they're in the process of rewording. Instead of calling it an arthritis, it should be classed as a disease because it's not curable, it's not fixable. And that, because of that, I'm going down a rabbit hole. Sorry, squirrel. So the reason why I don't have an ATG is because my hands sometimes can't cope with much weight. And because it's so big, every video that I've ever seen, it seems really big. And I prefer the small tape runner in my hand when I'm scrapping. That's just my preference at this point. Will I get one? Probably, to give it a crack. Will I fall in love with it? You know I might, but we'll see what happens. Now, all I did there was I sprayed the black cardstock that I just put on the back of those photos. I sprayed it with my homemade mica spray. There is a video for that. Look at me just tearing into this paper. It's just paper, guys. You know what? Give it a crack. See what happens. Just rip into it. Worst case scenario, you rip a bit too much and you've got to cover something up. Just do it. Live a little. It's fun. Make it fun. If you're making layouts and they're not fun for you, there's something wrong. Now, I did mention this in my last video, I am sort of trying to switch and use some of my materials in a different way. These are some packaging boxes that I've cut up to use instead of having foam, sticky backed foam behind my layouts. Now this particular cardboard is quite thin, and that's why I've gone, yeah, okay, I could maybe get away with this. I don't really like having really thick embellishments, because my pages, I like my pages to have a little bit of depth, but nothing that's that big it's going to take up the space of 3 pages in an album. Okay, so I pulled out my title and I ran out of black letters. I ran out of the A's and I ran out of the N's. So I went to my brown one and I pulled out a couple. It's the same font. They're thickers and they are called hardcover. I have them in brown and I have them in black. I got them in a chuck-out sale from Spotlight eons ago and I absolutely love them. But they weren't the right colour. So I pulled out my Kmart dual tip graphic markers. These are from Kmart and they work a treat. They're alcohol markers. The black is black. So if you're wanting to have a play with some alcohol markers, give them a crack. They're not much to outlay and they're pretty good. So here's the bits that I fussy cut ages ago and I thought I was going to use them. Now I was looking at this page and I was really happy with the rips and how the photos sort of nestled into them. That I was happy with that, but I felt like it needed some more colors on the page. So of course I pulled these out and I thought, I wonder if I could squeeze these in and around them. And it's not flowers, it's not going down that path, but I figured it might work. And you know what? It really does. I love it. Absolutely love it. And these aren't always the colors that I go to. I love Vicki Boutin's, her enthusiasm, she is always on at 110%. Like, she's awesome. I would love to meet her one day. I love her collections are so bright and bold. And I've got to say, I really, really like them, especially at the moment. I'm really liking them. So you might see me use a few more. I haven't bought any full collections of Vicki's, but what I've done is I've bought a few little pieces. See, I'm just showing you there that it's going from the bottom left corner to the top right corner. That I'm going in the same direction that I tore the paper, and it helps it go that way. Even though my photos are sort of stacked into it, helps you draw your eye across the page. Now I'm just gluing all these circles down because now they're all there. If I move them, I bet you I can't get them back in the same spot. So I'm just using my art glitter glue, which you can get from Crazy Craft Obsessions. I will let you know that I am going to make a comment here that my link is an affiliate link. If you jump over and have a look through their website and go through my link, I will get a discount, as well as you'll get a discount if you head on over there and make a purchase, and you meet all the requirements. We'll both get a discount. So I am going to be saying that from now on with an affiliate link, because I think that's what I have to do with YouTube, just to be sure that I'm being crystal clear with everybody that that is where I purchase from a lot of my stuff from. And yeah, so there you go. So I will have that link below, along with the list of everything that I've used. Now these stickers, I don't know if you can get them anymore. I've Googled and I don't think you can get these ones anymore. They're I love them because they're hard. They're like chipboard and they're solid and they don't squish. It's so good. I love them. Now, I'm just adding my title on here and I'm having a little bit of quick read. So I've told you about the VICKI BOUTIN. So the circles came from the Paint Shop collection, the color coasters, and the background is linear from the COLORSTUDY collection. The good thing when you buy a little bit from each collection, Paige Evans does this as well. Each collection will match the parts of the last collection. So the color tones are usually sort of in the same realm. So you can mix and match. So as you can see, I've used some from COLORSTUDY and some from Print Shop and they go together perfectly. So if you're one that doesn't quite know how to color coordinate your pages very well, that is something that you learn over time. Sorry, I need to have a drink. I'm so thirsty. Apologies. So it's one of those things that you learn over time. I do not profess to be an amazing color specialist, but I just wing it and it just seems to work for me. When it comes to papers and cardstocks and patterns, that just comes to me pretty well. Now, I do change my mind here with this pen. This one I'm using is my Uniball Signo, what's it called? No, it's called Uniball Gel Impact Black Pen. And I changed my mind and I swapped it out and I went with the POSCA bullet shape tip pen. So it's a thicker one. It's a 0.9 to 1.3 mil. The reason I switched to that one instead of my fine one is because I think I wanted to really be able to see the black edge, just to give it to tie in just a little bit more black into the page and just to give a bit more definition to the edge of these circles. And I absolutely love how these turned out. So I cannot scream enough from the rooftops. If there's one thing that will take your pages from zero to hero, it is learning where to put a little bit of pen work. It takes, you can see it there. See the difference between the ones that have the black around the edge and the ones that don't. Of course, I could have used ink. I could have inked up the edges before I slipped these in there. I could have done that, but I wanted to use a different medium. I wanted to use something that you don't want to see me using ink on every single layout, and that's the only thing I ever use, because that's just not true. I use everything. I use everything from alcohol inks to my distress inks. I do lean heavily towards distress ink and distress oxides because that's what I chose to invest in, that particular color range. It did take a lot of backwards and forwards thinking for myself and a lot of in-depth research to work out what I think I would get the best bang for buck for you guys. And that's why I went with the distress color range, because it had the broadest range that I liked the most. And I have to be honest, I am swaying. There's Jen. She's giving me some M&Ms. Isn't she a darling? So she's saying hi to everybody. Hello, hello. She's a sweetheart. She comes in and does that every so often, and she dropped me off a couple of M&Ms. So I was very happy with that, even though I'm covering them up with my layout, but that's okay. I just went over the top of these letters just with my gold, metallic gold POSCA paint pen. It is the shiniest perfect gold. It has beautiful reflection. It works a treat every single time. I love it. And when you go over these letters with it, you'll see if you pop over to my Facebook group, that's where I post all my photos. And I zoom right in. So you can see if there's a mistake, if there's a smudge, if there's whatever. That's where the photos are. So you can see the black and white of it all. Mistakes, the whole 9 yards. It's all there. And I find that when I see people's photos, I can sort of figure out what they've done. So a little bit easier. I'm a visual learner. So what else can I tell you? I'm just going around the edge. I wanted to add a little bit of metallic to this page, but I didn't want to do splatters because we all know I'm not the best with splatters. Not happy with that. So I did do a spray of the gold mica spray behind on the black photo matting. So just adding this little bit of gold, just dots. That's all I'm doing, just tiny little dots. But I'm doing them in a very measured way. Now I'm eating M&Ms apparently. There was a day that I would never have had a drink or a M&M anywhere near my scrapbooking layouts. I've learnt to relax a little bit. It's not the end of the world. You can do these things. Just, keep your hands clean. Probably wouldn't eat cheesels. If you're not from Australia, we have these awesome chips and they're called cheesels, and they're in a ring shape, and you stick them on your fingers and you eat them one by one, and they are beautiful. They're so nice. Cheese flavored, and they're corn chips. They're so yummy. Anyway, this is where I'm going to do my shameless plug for my channel. I am so excited for what I'm able to be bringing you guys in 2023. I am hoping to have another giveaway when we hit 1,500 subscribers. So if you know anyone that wants to jump on board, please let me know and send them the link and get them over here to have some fun. Also, jump on my socials for the photos. Thanks a bunch, guys. I'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.